Good morning, everybody. Pastor Nate Borman here, one of the pastors at Mount Lebanon Lutheran Church, here for a devotional thought for you today, for your Wednesday. We're walking our way through the book of Numbers right now, 15, 16 or so today. It's a good day. It's a beautiful day. The sun is shining. It's a little bit cloudy outside, but it's going to be a great day because it's the Lord's day, and we get to live out our lives in this day. So glad to be with you for a little bit this morning. We're walking our way through the book of Numbers, which initially is a little bit of a harder book because we're still in some of the mode of Leviticus, where there's sacrifices and offerings and rites and rituals that God tells his people that this is what I want you to do. But I guess coming back to a theme that we talked a little bit about in Leviticus is that God, he's not to be trifled with. So when we talk about this in the commandments, fear, love, and trust in God above all things, we start to understand what this fear is. It's a healthy fear. For instance, we should have a healthy fear of a hot stove. We should have a healthy fear of fire. We should have a healthy fear of crossing the street. It's good and wise and right for us to live with a healthy fear. Otherwise, we'll burn our hands or we'll get run over by a car. It's good for us to live with a healthy fear, and God's saying, you got to live that way with me too. I'm not a God who's to be trifled with. And you get an example of what that looked like when you trifle with God, when you mess with God, when you touch the hot stove. Remember, God is holy, and that's hotter than any hot stove. When you touch the hot stove, you're going to get burned, right? Korah, Dathan, and Abiram, Leviticus 16, they touch the hot stove. And they say, wait. Why are the Levites, they're arguing with God and saying, God, why is it this way? Why are Aaron and his family, why are they the only ones who get to offer sacrifices? What about us? Right? They're arguing with God about the way God has it set up, and God says, no, that's not the way it is. And so fire, read the chapter, see what happens. Fire breaks out from the Lord because they rebelled against what God had established. Right? I guess I want you to see that God don't mess with God. And that's not meant to like terrify us, but it should give us a healthy fear because God is holy, and we're not, and we don't have the right. Not sorry to say it. We don't have the right to do whatever we jolly well want to do. Right? God is not to be trifled with. So when God sets out in his word, this is the way it is. This is the way I want you to live. This is what's pleasing to me. Then we have to just stop and say, oh, okay, because God, you're God and I'm not. Right? That's one of the things I think we forget. That's one of the things that Korah, Dathan, and Abiram, they forgot. They forgot that God was God and that God got to make the rules, right? And so what do we do then when we realize that we've trifled with God? What do we do when we realize that we've messed with God? What do we do when we realize that we've rebelled against him? That's what happened. Well, we turn to a mediator. Right? There was fire. There was a plague that was breaking out against the people of Israel after Korah, Dathan, and Abiram got what was coming to them. There was a plague that broke out against the people, and notice this at the end of chapter 16. What did Moses tell Aaron to do? He told him to mediate. He told him to get in the middle. He told him to stand between the people and God's anger so that they weren't killed. See, when we trifle with God, which don't do it. But when we do trifle with God, there's always a mediator, and his name is Jesus. And so we live in fear of God, a healthy fear, a godly fear, and working to not trifle with him, to mess with his commands, and we live with a deep love for him and a trust in him because he's the one who mediates for us. So as we say in the first commandment, we fear, we love, we trust in God above all things. And then we live our life out of that fear, love, and trust in God. So God granted to you today, we have a mediator. We have a God who is worthy of our fear and our awe and our wonder. So we'll live in fear, love, and trust in him above all things. Have a great day, everybody. The Lord be with you all and grant you his peace.